Right. It's one of those streams where I'm on a time limit. We'll see how far we get. I got like 2 hours. Oh belly. Investigation time. Who killed Angie? Get all this crap out of here. Making it hard to investigate. The hanging things are not suspicious, huh? That busty brainy beauty is just all figured out. Huh? Huh? You mean you know who the culprit is?
What was that?
Huh? The culprit? Fuck that.
Hey.
Shuichi, do you really have the time to be listening to her?
Wait!
Wait, goddammit, are you just gonna ignore my genius idea?
What?
Just listen to me, okay? Come on, listen to me, listen!
Okay.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna twist my arm, then I'll tell you. You've already thanked me for this.
You know.
I know y'all are dumber than fleas, but even you get how weird these wax dolls are, right? They are strange. Are they for the ritual or another purpose?
Well then.
But I figured it out with just one glance. These are diversions.
Could it be
Diversions?
Listen up.
Yep, the corporate used these wax dolls to distract us from something.
Got a minute?
What do you mean by that?
What?
How should I know? Isn't that Sherlock Holmes' job?
I knew it.
You're a waste of time. Maki turned and walked away. I can't say I blame her.
What was that?
The hell's her problem? Is she on the rag or something? So Angie made these wax dolls, huh? The resemblance is pretty uncanny. They say the devil's in the details, you know? Let's just see how detailed these really are. Hey! You tried to look up the wax figure skirt.
Hey!
What are you doing? Stop that!
What?
I just wanted to see if this doll is wearing panties. Wait, do you have a doll fetish? Are you excited that your dead girlfriend is a doll now?
Ah, fucking virgin.
If you like wax dolls so much, then go fuck the doll already. I'm starting to agree with Maki. Talking to me was a waste of time. I'm not sure if it's okay to say this or not, but could Tenko be the culprit?
Huh?
Huh? Tenko? It's not like I have proof or anything, but earlier I heard Himiko say that Tenko is trying to betray the student council.
No.
Do you suspect Tenko?
Actually.
Because as a member of the student council, she would have been allowed into this lab.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And she did allow members of the student council to enter her lab.
Oh.
Yeah, and she'd been shut away here working on the ritual by herself since yesterday. She said she would only unlock the door if she heard a student council member's voice.
That's true.
I would certainly point to Tenko. She did betray the student council after all.
No.
It's not that I want to suspect Tenko, but since only student council members would have been let in here, so Angie only let in student council members. That would be Gonta, Kibo, Himiko, Tenko, and Tsumugi, but didn't she basically say that she was no longer the student council? If I recall that correctly? At that point? So she wouldn't have let her in anyway? Tenko? In that group, Tenko is certainly the most suspicious.
Hey.
I just want to confirm something. We got to this lab. You're sure that the front door is locked?
Okay.
Yes, I'm positive. I grabbed the knob and tried to turn it. It really is locked.
I knew it.
The front entrance was locked until Kokichi picked the lock to open it. Kokichi put out some thin needles and stuck them into the keyhole of the lock. Click, 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 clack. There, open sesame. I remember this. So he picked the cylinder lock open.
Hey.
You think anyone else could have opened the lock besides him?
That's true.
It would have been impossible from the outside. The Monocups took the key. Okay, here it is, but there's only one key, so don't lose it. It'd be bad if you lost it. You wouldn't be able to lock the door or open it from the outside. Let me see that key. Moram swiped the key from Monofini and lifted it into his mouth. He ate it.
Then...
So Kokichi is the only one who could have opened or closed the door from the outside, right? correct. Only Kokichi would have been able to open and close the door from the outside. But someone inside could have opened and closed it as they pleased.
Huh?
So the front door is locked from the inside of the room.
No.
Not necessarily, I'm just thinking of possibilities. But in that case, the question becomes how the person who locked the doors got out. Well, the culprit got out of the classroom after locking the doors. Yeah.
Why?
Murder at nighttime is strange. Impossible, even.
Why?
Why do you think that?
Right.
The student council made rule that we know can be outside during nighttime. Everyone should have been asleep. No way a murder could have happened at nighttime.
Ew.
Do you really think everyone would go along with that rule? But it is to his rule, and you say he punished us if we not follow his rules.
But
But the student council wasn't included in that, correct? They could do what they wanted. Angie was also working here at night. Huh? She was? No way. The student council would never break own rules.
Right.
They should have been asleep in own rooms, to set good example to others. Maybe Angie got attacked while she's asleep in her room, and get brought here.
Gonta, idiot.
So Gonta could have saved her, if only Gonta saw. But Gonta was sleeping. Sorry, Angie, Gonta no could save you. Kinda hard to believe that no one went outside, in spite of the student council rule. This is the lab's back door.
Is this?
This door has a sliding lock and it's still locked.
That's true.
There's some smudge on it though. And because no one has used this door since we came in here, I believe Angie locked this door when she came in and it's been locked ever since.
Hey.
Wait, what's this? Look, there's something golden shiny on the back tab of the sliding lock. Oh boy, we're using the flaky gold sword again. Golden shiny? Could it be...
Is that alright?
Maki, may I see it for a minute? I want to try moving the sliding lock.
So what?
You want to unlock it? Go ahead, do what you want. I carefully touched the knob of the lock, avoiding the gold parts, and softly slid the lock open.
Okay.
Just as I suspected, this lock will slide without much effort. Whether you lock it or unlock it. This could be an important clue. Somebody is probably going to say it's jammed. Still, it's strange that the front door and back door have different locks. The front door that we came from has a cylinder lock. And the rear door over here has a sliding lock. But by the time we discovered the body, both doors are locked.
Is this?
In other words, this is what you might call a locked room mystery, right? Somebody knows their terminology. Locked, huh?
You're right.
Yes, the cylinder lock's key was taken by the Monocubs, so both doors could only be locked from the inside. But only if you rule out Kokichi's lockpicking, right? He could have picked the cylinder lock and the front door to go in and out of the lab. So he could have created this locked room mystery. It's possible that he locked the door from the outside by picking it after he killed Angie.
If I remember correctly.
That's true.
That's right.
Also, he appeared at an oddly convenient time when we tried to enter the lab ourselves.
I knew it.
He's clearly suspicious. It is suspicious, but that solution seems a little too convenient. It sounds like a, like from the first game, when the guy deliberately tampered with the crime scene to make it more interesting after finding the dead body. I could see Kokichi doing that. Kokichi's lockpicking add to the truth bullet section. And now, let's look at the body and the Necronomicon, right? I guess just the body. Angie's body. She's lying face down in the middle of the room.
What's wrong?
Are you gonna take a closer look? Okay. Yes, I was planning to.
Got a minute?
Then let's hurry up and do it. We can't afford to waste any time here. Maki didn't hesitate. She stepped past me and walked over to the body. She has no problem with dead bodies. She is the ultimate assassin. Necronomicon. Ah, this book. The instructions for the resurrection ritual are written in the Necronomicon. By performing the ritual as written, you can resurrect one deceased victim.
I knew it.
This was the motive, the Necronomicon.
Hey,
Angie tried to perform the ritual written in this book, right?
Okay.
Yes, if we look at this book, we should learn the steps of the ritual she was trying to perform. Let's take a look. The Necronomicon Resurrection Ritual. Prepare an effigy of the dead soul you wish to contact. Everyone may participate. The size and shape of the effigy is irrelevant. Make it out of whatever materials as you wish. If it's not obvious who the effigy is supposed to be, label with the name of the deceased. After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution. Be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times. Then close your eyes and wait. After a while, you should feel a light tap on your back. If so, that means the ritual is a success. The ashes are only good for 1 use. The ritual can only be performed once, so use it wisely. So these are the steps for the resurrection ritual.
this is stupid.
Angie really believed in this crap? It's pretty obvious that you wouldn't be able to resurrect anyone with this. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure that's true. But in this place, I don't think we can rule anything out. Necronomicon added. There's blood dripping from Angie's head. According to the Monokuma file, she sustained a stab wound to the back of the neck, as well as a laceration on her forehead.
I knew it.
The killing blow is a single stab to the back of the neck, a sneak attack most likely.
Well,
Then what do you make of this wound on her forehead? Maybe the culprit hit her in the head before stabbing her from behind. But her 2 wounds are substantially different. Did the culprit change weapons mid-attack?
Oh yeah.
I suppose that would be unnecessary.
remember.
Also, the wound on her forehead looks deep, but it's not bleeding much. What's going on with these 2 wounds? Forehead injury added.
Huh?
Huh?
What's wrong, Maki?
Got a minute?
Move. Maki pushed me aside, then lifted Angie's body up by the shoulder.
Is this...
What's this doing crumpled underneath her body?
what is it?
This is duct tape, right? What's duct tape doing here? I don't know, but it must be related to the case. Look, there are hairs stuck to the tape. Long hairs. Angie's, right? Bloody duct tape with Angie's hair on it. What could that mean? Bloody duct tape added.
But
I'm surprised you spotted this, Maki. It was hidden under her body.
So what?
It was partially visible. As a detective, you should have noticed it before I did.
okay.
Well, that's true. Well, even so, I guess you're still getting used to being around dead bodies. So don't beat yourself up over it.
Okay.
Well then, it's a good thing you're used to corpses, Maki.
Do you want to die?
Sorry.
I'm joking. Couldn't resist.
Got a minute?
You don't need to apologize. I was joking too. That didn't sound like a joke, though. What do we investigate now? Pool of blood? A small pool of blood is emanated from Angie's torso. This can't be from her forehead. This blood is from the back of her neck.
Is this...
This blood is dry. It must have been spilled a few hours before Angie was killed, maybe more. That fits the 2 a.m. time of death listed in the Monokuma file. Angie's body appears to be exactly as described in the Monokuma file. There were several clues that caught my attention, but I can't draw any conclusions yet. If we think about all the evidence in combination, that might tell us something. Let's continue the investigation for now. Maki, what's wrong?
So what?
It's not that important, but... The only time you're reliable is when you're investigating a crime scene. Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Like I'd know.
Who knows? It's certainly more reliable than Kaito, at least. That guy is useless. Anyway, let's continue. The 4 effigies hung upside down make the scene particularly eerie. Ropes are dangling from the exposed beams on the ceiling.
If I remember correctly.
Angie made all of these wax figures.
Hey,
Is this rope from the warehouse?
You're right.
I believe so, and that means they won't be much of a clue. Anyone could have gone and gotten these ropes. Maybe the student council should have blocked the warehouse instead of the manhole. The warehouse does contain plenty of things that can be used for murder. Anyway, I know that these effigies are just wax, but it still creeps me out.
That's true.
The effigies look exactly like real people. Not just their faces, but their bodies too. The ultimate artist certainly was talented.
By the way,
Why is this effigy hanging upside down? Is this part of the ritual? Not sure.
what is it?
If it's not, then why is it like this? Who would go out of their way to hang a wax effigy? And also stab one. Right. If they're going to do this much work, there must be some reason for it. What could it be? Who would do this? The culprit, Angie, or someone else entirely? Effigies hung upside down at it. 4 effigies are hung up with the rope from the ceiling's exposed beams. These wax figures are definitely the same ones Angie made. Why are they hung up? Or is this also part of the resurrection ritual? Or is there some other purpose? It would take a lot of work to hang all these up. That implies there was a reason behind it. But what is that reason and who did it? The culprit, Angie, or someone else entirely? The only other note would be the sword. Oops. Let's get back closer to it. There we go. A katana stabbed into Kaede's wax effigy.
Damn it!
Who did this and why?
Got a minute?
Let me see. Well, we know that came from, Kyo's room. Maki nudged me aside, then gripped a katana and pulled it out of the effigy.
Ah,
Wait, this is a crime scene. You can't...
What is it?
You wanted to check the katana, right? Well, you can't do that if you don't pull it out.
because...
Yes, true, but we have to preserve that scene. Maki paid no mind to my protest and stared at the katana for a while.
Is this...
It's a real katana, but there's a gold leaf on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's the one that was on display in the Ultimate Anthropologist lab. Hey, how's it going, Zeroth? Unfortunately, that looks like Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. Is that so?
Okay.
You can probably assume this is the murder weapon, judging from the bloodstains on the tip. The edge is too rusty to cut well, but it would be enough to stab. But why would they go through the effort of using this as the murder weapon?
That's true.
Good question. They could have gone to my lab and grabbed a more suitable weapon.
Could it be...
Perhaps it's because Kyo's lab is on the same floor? Yeah, it's Spanish. Try to translate. I could try, or I could just go to Google. Give me a sec. Let's see, what does Google Translate say, you said? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's very polite to say. Funny. But, let's continue. They may have been in a hurry.
Well,
Or maybe they needed a long weapon like this.
Huh?
A long weapon?
okay.
My lab doesn't contain swords or any other weapons of this length.
Huh?
Really?
That's true.
I'm not sure how Monokuma found out, but he must know I don't use swords for work. Just good luck, have fun. Alright, thanks, man. When I first started working, I botched a mission using a katana. I haven't used a sword since, which is fine because they're a hassle to carry anyway. I suppose everyone's lab is suited to them personally, just like Angie's was. But how do they know all this? Anyway, the gold leaf on this katana flakes off easily. It's all over my hand now.
Okay.
It must be pretty old for the gold leaf to flake off that easily.
Got a minute?
Why didn't you say so earlier? My hands are all sticky now. I'll have to wash them later. Maki scolded me, then stood in front of Kaede's effigy.
Hey,
I want to put the katana back where we found it. If it's too hard to wash, look away.
Okay.
Thank you. I averted my gaze and Maki stabbed the katana back into the wax effigy. Blip.
By the way,
Even so, why was a weapon stabbed to the wax effigy? A hanging wax effigy, no less. Was it part of the ritual, or was the culprit trying to hide the murder weapon? Perhaps they had no intention of hiding it. They didn't even wipe off the blood. Besides, I'm certain there are better ways to hide the murder weapon than this.
what are you talking
And
about?
what's the reason for this?
That's...
I honestly have no idea.
Well,
We should investigate where this weapon came from. We might find a clue there.
Okay.
The Ultimate Anthropologist Lab? Yeah, let's do that. I want to make sure the katana indeed came from that room. Yeah. I think we finished investigating everything for now.
got a minute?
Is this really the time to rest? I don't think we found enough clues yet. We don't know how much time we have left to investigate, so we need to hurry up.
You're right.
First, we should investigate the Ultimate Anthropologist Lab. We may find a clue related to the katana.
That's true.
We need to check if the katana really did come from that place. Is something wrong, Maki?
By the way,
It just occurred to me. Why am I acting like your partner?
sure, whatever.
Well, it's fine. Just don't get used to it. It's not as if I asked you, but fine by me. It's true that Maki is a tremendous help to me. Alright, let's just back right out of this room. So where's everyone else hanging out? Let's see. Can't fast travel around the map. Huh. There are a bunch of students in that room. What's going on over here? Should I go? Oh. Need to investigate the katana. I guess that is the current pressing issue. If I remember correctly, the gold leaf katana is from... right there. It's just a sheath. Earlier the katana was inside the sheath.
Okay.
Maki, the gold leaf katana definitely came from here, I'm certain of it.
That's true.
Doesn't that make Kyo suspicious? This is his research lab after all.
No.
Not necessarily. Anyone could have come in here and taken it.
That's true.
Fair enough. Anyone could have done the same with my lab, too. Gold leaf katana updated. Hello.
Oh?
Oh, what are you guys doing here?
Ew.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be helping with the seance? You look so disgusted right now. Then again, I guess that is your signature look.
Anyway.
I forgot to bring something we need for the seance, so I came back to get it.
Huh?
Something for the seance?
Yeah.
Yep, that white sheet over there. We brought the wooden dog statue in the cage already, but I guess we need that sheet too.
What is it?
I don't get it. Why do you guys need a cage, a wooden dog statue, and a white sheet? Hey, don't ask me. I don't know why we need that stuff either.
So that means...
That's why I figured I'd do a little research on this seance before I got the sheet.
Huh?
Study. So let's see. Kokichi took a look around, and I heard it was like some old handmade book. Oh, is this it?
Yeah.
Yep, it says Cage Dog Village right there on the cover, so this must be it. Let's see, what does it say about the Cage Child Seance? Kokichi flipped through the old book he picked up. Oh, is this page? It's hard to read, but I can see the Cage Child is mentioned here.
Yeah.
Kyo's drawing is the same magic circle as the one in the picture. Okay, let's see. In order to perform the Caged Child, you need 5 people, including the spirit medium, in a dark place with no light.
If I remember correctly...
Just like Kyo said. First, draw the magic circle passed down from the Caged Dog Village on the ground. In the center of the circle, the spirit medium must kneel, curl like a turtle, and rest their forehead on a stone on the ground. Afterward, the other 4 participants must put the iron cage over the spirit medium and cover it with a white sheet. And finally, the dog god must be placed on top of the cage.
I see.
Also, it says we can't step on the magic circle during the preparations. Dog god? Do you mean the wooden dog statue?
Yeah.
When preparations are complete, turn on all the lights to create complete darkness. The seance will begin when the 4 participants are each standing at a corner of the room. The 4 participants, not including the spirit medium, will sing the caged child's song. After the song, ask, "Is the caged child?" Then say the name of the spirit. The spirit medium will reply in the voice of the summoned spirit, and that's all it says. Magic. That sounds complicated.
But...
Complicated plans have a better chance of working out in the end, wouldn't you say? Whether it works out or not, Q has been wanting to conduct the seance for a while. Since I was fortunate enough to obtain one of those copies, I have already memorized it. But I never thought I would be able to lay eyes on the real one. What a trick of fate.
Right?
Oh yeah, he said he memorized every word of it too. That's probably why he left the book here, because he can conduct the seance without it. But is it even possible? Contacting Angie's ghost? If you're so curious, why don't you join us, Shuichi?
Huh? Well, you know.
You should see how it plays out with your own eyes.
See?
There's still time, you know. The seance hasn't even started yet.
That's true.
Maybe it's better if you join them.
Huh?
You think so?
I don't understand.
Well, I'm not going. I don't believe in seances. Whether you believe or not, as a detective you should be there to observe what happens. As a detective, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now you're talking.
All right.
Well, I'll be waiting for you. Oh, the 3 empty rooms were in the middle one. Kokichi spoke as though he was inviting me to go play, then left the room. Caged child added.
Hey,
You can deal with the seance. I'll head back to the crime scene to re-examine the clues. Anything else important in here? This pack with books and scrolls are all weathered and old. No time to read now, though. The Caged Child book is still here. Q said he had read it so many times he can recite it by memory. I suppose he doesn't need it to perform the seance. Nah, you wouldn't, would he? Alright. Let's do some magic.
Hello.
So, Kokichi tells me you wish to participate in the seance as well, Shuichi? You are most welcome to join us. Is what I would like to say. However, only 5, including the spiritual medium, may join.
Oh, man.
What a shame. Well, Keyboy, you're out.
Me?
Why me? I agree with Kokichi. I was thinking this for a while.
listen up!
Robots and seances don't mix. They're like toothpaste and orange juice. To be honest, I had the same thought. Your help was appreciated, Kibo.
Why you?
Don't any of you feel guilty for kicking me out after forcing me to come? That's why we're apologizing.
Do not mock
No
me!
one's apologized yet.
Oh, man.
Fine, fine, our bad. Just don't get mad and start shooting electromagnetic waves at us.
How rude.
Why would I do that?
Stop it.
Stop whining, Kibo. I want to start the seance as soon as possible. Fine, but I won't forget this betrayal, Shuichi. What did I do?
So then...
So now Shuichi has joined us for some warnings.
Do you understand?
Do not enter the magic circle that I have drawn on the floor. It is drawn with purifying salt, so it is easily disturbed when stepped on. You drew this magic circle with salt?
That's correct.
I always use salt for magic circles. It makes seances more likely to succeed.
Well then...
Also, it's dark in here, so be sure to watch your step. If the magic circle is broken, not only will the seance fail,
Terrifying.
but it may also unleash a curse. Got it. I'll be careful. Surprised you were able to draw this without even looking at the picture.
Do not worry.
I have the entire document memorized, so this magic circle should be perfect. Of course, I also have the Caged Child's song memorized. You must do the same.
Do you understand?
I have copied the words to the song down here. Please commit it to memory. Good luck. I'm not gonna memorize that. Everyone else has already memorized it. After all, you'll be unable to read in the dark.
Huh?
You have to memorize the lyrics now?
Oh?
You're a detective, so I expect your memory to be up to the task. Here's the melody. I listened to Kyo sing the song and did my best to memorize the melody and lyrics.
Okay.
Alright, I think I've got it now. Your memory is extraordinary. You are indeed the ultimate detective.
Well then.
Let us begin the ritual right away.
How exciting!
Yay, we finally get to see Angie!
So then,
Before that, let's choose a spiritual medium. It would work best with a girl. I'll do it. I can't think of anyone else but me that Angie's spirit should go in.
No.
I'll do it. Because if you're the spirit medium, you won't be able to talk to Angie.
Eh? That's right.
You want to talk to Angie, right? Then I'll be the spirit medium. That way you can say goodbye to her. And after you finish saying your goodbyes, keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
Please.
Tenko.
By the way.
Also, Himiko, let me say this one thing. Expressing your feelings is perfectly natural. You shouldn't feel ashamed at all. So, if you feel like crying while you're talking to Angie, go ahead and cry your eyes out. You'll feel better when you do. Well, I mean, laughing makes you feel better too.
Damn it!
And venting your anger onto something can really cheer you up.
Yes.
Train your heart by crying, laughing, and venting your anger, Himiko. I think you've trained too much. Probably right. Seems like the two of them made up. That's good.
so then.
So, now that we've decided on a spiritual medium, let us begin.
Yes.
Alright, Himiko, I'll see you later.
Now, I would like the spirit medium Tenko to sit within the center circle. Please be sure to walk on the path, so as not to disturb the magic circle.
Make sure you watch your steps since it's so dark in here.
Next, you must be as a turtle within that circle. Please rest your forehead upon this stone marker I've placed here.
It's just a stone I brought from the courtyard. Are you sure it'll work?
Is it the one with writing?
Certainly. It is merely needed as a marker for her forehead to rest upon.
Like this?
This may be uncomfortable, but please endure it until the seance is complete. Whatever you do, you mustn't raise your head or change positions.
Piece of cake. I have 5-star flexibility.
So then,
Starting now, the rest of us must go to work. There are many things left to be done.
let's see.
First, you must place this iron cage atop Tenko. I shall leave that to Shuichi and Kokichi. And please keep in mind, walk carefully so as not to disturb the magic circle.
Yeah.
Okay, you can count on me. It may not look like it, but I'm actually super duper strong.
I shouldn't have lied. I'm way too weak for this kind of stuff.
It's made of iron. No wonder it's heavy.
Hold on! Don't just drop it on top of me!
I know. It wouldn't be very funny if a body discovery announcement happened during this.
Please don't jinx us!
I'm tired. So, next, we cover the basket with a white cloth, right?
I shall take that role. All right. Everything is prepared. Tenko, how are you doing?
Well, I can only see the floor from this position, but I think I'm fine.
The final step is to place the wooden statue of the dog god atop the cage. The 4 of us may need to do this together. The statue is quite heavy.
Oh boy.
Even with 4 people, it's still really heavy. Oh, holy crap, this weighs a ton!
No, it is not much more than 175 pounds.
I'm totally wiped.
I could have used my magic to carry it easily, but seances and magic don't mix.
Seances are magic.
Are you sure it's okay to put something so heavy on top of the cage?
Spiritual magic.
The iron cage was made specifically for seances, so it can hold this weight.
Okay. I guess that's fine then.
Now, let us exit the magic circle. Take care to avoid disturbing it.
I can see someone's foot on the salt line. So this is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you.
Got it.
Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over. Okay, everyone. I'll see you guys after the seance.
Well then.
The rest of us shall move to the corners of the room. Please go to one of your choosing. We each stood in a different corner.
Now we darken the room. Kokichi and Shuichi are closest to the candles. Please blow out the candles. You should be able to follow the walls in the dark.
So go back to the corner of the room after it's dark. Okay, got it.
You needn't move, Himiko. There are many gaps in the floor near you.
Yeah, got it.
Once the room is dark, I will begin the song. Please sing along with me. Then, I will call out to Angie. Until she replies, there must be silence.
After the seance is done, Shuichi and I are supposed to light the candles again, right?
Correct. I brought matches from the warehouse, so please use those.
Okie dokie, then I'll blow out the candle now.
Poof. I walked up to the closest candle and blew out the flame. The room instantly fell into complete darkness. Pitch black darkness. So dark I couldn't even see my own body. Overcoming my instinctual fear of the dark, I moved along the wall back to my corner. Then began the singing.
At last, at long last.
Why do I suddenly feel as though all the joy has been torn from my body and replaced with screaming terror?
Neither following. Let's see. Q led us all in the Caged Child song.
Young guard dog and little lost girl, sealed within an iron cage. At mountain's bottom, within the darkness, at last, at long last.
This better work.
How many will there be by dawn? Will there be two or just one?
Thunk.
Will the guard dog run far away, or did it eat the little girl? At last, at long last.
Huh. Reach out and touch, Wraith. Good reference. We finished singing the song, but I thought I heard an odd sound in the middle of it. What was that?
Say,
Is the Caged Child, Angie Yonaga. He began calling. Now if the medium answers.
say.
Is the Caged Child, Angie Yonaga. What's going on?
Say.
Is the Caged Child, Angie Yonaga.
What's the matter?
What's wrong? Why won't Angie answer?
Hold on.
Himiko, I was very clear that you were not to speak. Yes? But something's weird. Why won't she answer? Maybe it failed?
Let's see.
Let's light the candles briefly.
Huh?
What? Is that okay?
Well,
Just for now. Confused, I walked along the wall back to the candle. I managed to strike a match and light the candle once again. Oh no, that's a bad sign. Hey, what's going on? Did it really fail?
That cannot be.
That shouldn't be the case. The seance was perfect.
What?
Is Angie not coming? Is that still Tenko in there? Tenko?
I see, yes.
I told her that she mustn't speak until the spirit enters her. She follows orders well, but how about we let her out for now?
Hold on.
Wait. Dark arts such as these need to be started and completed the same way. Those who remove objects from the magic circle must be the same who brought them in. If not, the spirit may stay in the medium's body.
Man.
Seeing how this was a failure, I don't think any spirit's sticking around, but whatever. Yeah, there's blood under there. Just like setting up, Q instructed us how to clean everything up. We are careful to remove everything exactly in the order Kyo directed.
Now, I will remove the sheet.
Kyo pinched the fabric gently and pulled it aside.
Oh? Perhaps.
Double dead body. Something is amiss. Miko ran toward the cage in a sprint. Miko, I told you not to step on the... But she wasn't listening. She jumped into the cage and... Fueled by desperation, Himiko grabbed the cage, lifted it up, and... Alright, we got our games 2 for 1. Yep.
Really?
Who would have thought there'd be another victim during the investigation? Maybe Monofini's green puke was predicting this tragedy.
Ah!
Oh, the puke color's normal now. I guess it was predicting this.
For now.
Everyone, please assemble in the seance room. Yeah, I don't think that happened before. I don't think we've had a mid investigation announcement. Well, technically in the first game there was one. The second body discovery announcement played. It didn't take long for everyone to come running.
What?
Tenko? Seriously? Oh, what is this? How did this happen?
How'd this happen?
Tenko, so sorry. Gonta no could protect you.
Got a minute?
Shuichi, explain the situation. I thought you were conducting the seance. What happened?
Well, that's...
I don't know. What is happening? Another Monokuma 5?
What on earth?
I'm surprised too. I never thought a murder would happen during an investigation. I guess for now, you should maybe start the investigation right away.
Say.
Before that, I would like to confirm something. The culprit who killed Angie may be a different culprit from the one who killed Tenko, yes?
Huh? If so...
What happens in the event there are 2 murders by 2 people? What if there are 2 blackened? Will we need to find them both at the class trial?
That's right.
Now that you mention it, that's a good point. What would happen in that scenario?
Yeah?
Huh? What would happen? Momadam, what would happen? What would happen?
Not that!
Why do you look lost too, Monodam? I thought you were gonna run things instead of Daddy. I never expected something like this to happen. I don't know what to do, really, I don't. Oh man, they're all disorganized. We can't decide the class trial's objectives, then we won't know what to investigate. Father always knows what to do, we should ask him for help.
No way!
Have you already forgotten? Daddy's in no condition to help us. There he is. It's all our fault Daddy ended up like that.
Yeah?
Eh? It's all your fault, Monofini? Help, we won't know what to do on her own.
Ah!
Gotta use the power of love. That ought to snap him back to normal. That won't work. Father is just an empty shell now.
That's right!
That's not true. Anything is possible with the power of love. You understand because you've never been loved before, Monodam.
Daddy!
I love you, so please go back to normal. I want to see you, Father. I love you with all my heart. Is that actually gonna work? Oh, you're making me blush. Oh boy. Another one. I'm back. Were you good while I was away?
Thank you so much, my adorable darling cubs. With you running the academy, I was able to fully enjoy my relaxing vacation.
Okay. I wanted to double take that. He is licking the patchy Monokuma doll.
Oh, that tickles! Father's intense love is getting me all soaked.
Daddy, your tongue feels amazing! This better not awaken anything in me.
No, no.
Man, that vacation was just what I needed. It's important to take some time off to relax.
To tell you the truth,
Normally, the most companies won't even let you take time off to go on vacation. But I was able to do it.
side with this.
The secret is to just leave it whether you get permission. The secret is to just leave whether you get permission or not. Yeah, wait, so then, who's this Baldy then?
Yeah?
No, just a part-timer I got to cover me while I was gone.
Hey!
Here's your pay, like we agreed on. Now take it and get out of here. Well, I thought you were supposed to be relaxed. Now that nuisance is out of the way. What are you guys talking about again?
Yeah?
Oh, that's right. What happens if your votes? What happens to your votes if there are 2 blackened candidates?
I'll answer that.
Well, I have an answer for that. It's first come, first served. Huh? First come, first served.
Hey,
The blackened who killed the first victim to be discovered will be your target.
in other words,
If the blackened who killed Angie isn't the same one who killed Tenko, then only Angie's killer will be considered the blackened. Basically, Tenko's killer wasted a kill, and Tenko herself is a waste of a victim.
now then,
Ooh, I'll add this as a school regulation so you can review it later.
go ahead.
I also updated the Monokuma file. Do your best to investigate this murder too. Monokuma file number 3 has been added, or updated.
Father!
Boy, everything is going so smoothly now that Father's running things again. He's got to be able to take decisive action. Indecision is just the worst. Daddy, you're glowing. You're glowing like a lamp. There's nothing better than being praised by my cute cubs. There's nothing better than spending time with my cute cubs. For as long as you live, I'll never let any of you go. He just left us behind while saying he'd never let us go.
How nice!
That's why he's so amazing. Please lick me some more, Daddy. Oh boy.
So long. Farewell.
10 out of 10 quote to have somebody read out loud. So to make sense of all that,
Listen closely.
both murders have different culprits, then our vote will determine Angie's killer.
Nope.
But we don't even know if there is a different culprit, do we?
Let's see.
True. We should investigate Tenko's death as well, just in case.
How exciting!
Finally, things are heating up. I'm getting so excited.
Piece of shit!
Yeah, you fucking psycho.
Shuichi!
This is bad.
Huh?
This is unquestionably bad. I can't believe Tenko was killed. Everyone's upset and confused, and I'm in no shape to help right now.
You know,
So this is where you need to step up.
listen up.
Listen, Shuichi. The impossible is possible. All you gotta do is make it so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then let's check the Monokuma file first. The victim is Tenko Chibashira, the ultimate Aikido master. The body was found in the middle empty room on the 4th floor. The time of death is approximately 11 a.m. The only visible injury is a stab wound to the back of the neck. How'd they accomplish that? Like a reach around with a blade? A stab wound to the back of her neck, the same as Angie's cause of death. It doesn't really a coincidence. Maybe it's Angie's curse. Curse?
Jeez.
God, not again. Curse?
Hey!
What? Curse?
Kaito,
That's the
calm
last
down.
person you should be grabbing.
No way there's a curse! Don't screw around!
You're the one who's screwing around. Do you want to die?
A dull sound reverberated through the room.
Are you okay?
My bad.
Shuichi, I'm starting to feel bad for a different reason. I'm gonna go get some fresh air, so I'll leave this to you and Maki roll. Kaito let the room still a little bit wobbly. Should we resume the investigation? Time's of the essence.
That's correct.
True. We haven't time to mourn Tenko's death, as our own lives are at risk.
This is...
That's true, but Angie and then Tenko? I think earlier I was suspicious of Tenko. Sorry, Tenko.
How can this be?
It all Gonta's fault. Gonta failed to protect friends again. Tenko's death caught us all off guard. Everyone's panicking. You have to keep it together. You have to work harder. Because I'm a detective. Resume.
Well,
It's too dark in here. We can't investigate even if we wanted to.
Got it.
Go to bring candles from other room to make this room bright, okay?
No.
No, that won't be necessary.
Ah,
Yeah, that's not necessary at all.
Huh?
Why?
listen up!
Show him, Kibo. Show him your new power. He has a flashlight now, doesn't he? New power?
His eyes lit up.
I, New Iruma, the gorgeous girl genius, have installed a new function in Kibo.
Just leave it to me. I will become the guiding light that shines on you all.
Shine on, shine on! Shine on, you crazy fucking diamond!
Well, now the room is sufficiently bright. Wow, the room looks a lot worse than I thought. Man, what a lame function. You should have made him like a transformer or something.
it's okay.
But it's bright now, so we should hurry and investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Kibo's flashlight function has been added to the truth bullet section. I wonder where that'll come in handy. But, yeah. I guess we'll talk to everyone first. I said things that made Tenko look suspicious, and now this. I'm sorry, Tenko.
Stop it.
Cry later.
What?
Because
Crying won't bring Tenko back, and if we don't investigate thoroughly, we'll die too.
Okay.
We need to find the truth and pin down the culprit for Tenko and all of us.
I guess.
You're right. Tenko would want us to figure it out so she'd have no regrets. That would be the best way to apologize. So what is that note on the wall anyway? It's apparently not important, sadly.
well,
Do these floorboards seem a little unstable to you? They're tough to walk on. The floorboards aren't nailed down. They're just lying on top of cross pieces. That's what Gonta told me. That's probably the reason they're a little unstable. They've only been laid on top. That's why they're unstable. Well, the boards are fairly thick and sturdy. I can't imagine they'd come loose easily.
is this...
But if someone wants to remove a floorboard, they could easily do so, right?
Okay.
Yes, I suppose.
Oh,
Man, what a lame function. You should have made like a transformer or something. This investigation is over and shut. It's all thanks to me for giving Kibo his new function. Now then, Kunflu's killer is obviously one of your stupid assholes who signed on to do this bullshit seance in the first place.
No.
No, not necessarily.
Huh?
Seriously? This seance was clearly set up to lure her in and kill her. How could someone who wasn't in the room kill her?
Could it be...
So, you believe that Tenko was killed during the seance?
Fucking moron!
There's no other possibility, shit for brains. God, you don't even know that. It's true that Tenko was alive before the seance began. This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you. Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over. Tenko answered Kyo, so at that point she was most certainly alive. When the candles were relit, she had already been killed. That means she was killed in the dark, I'm positive. What time exactly was Tenko killed after the candles were blown out? That may be an important point of this case.
That cannot
Why?
be.
Why did this?
I knew it.
Kyo, I know the murder was pretty shocking.
But of course.
Of course, I am shocked about that as well, but why did the seance fail? We performed all the steps flawlessly, probably because your spirit medium died before the end of the seance. That'll probably do it. He seems more concerned by that than the murder.
Ah, yes.
Oh, if we perform the caged child again and summon Tenko's spirit this time.
This is stupid.
Cut the crap, just tell me what happened during the seance. Both you and Shuichi were present, right? Did she get killed during the seance?
I see, yes.
True, it may be best to move past what happened, to know why the seance failed.
Is that so?
Whatever, just hurry up. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko, the spiritual medium, position herself as a turtle within the magic circle, so her head touched the marker stone. Then Shuichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tenko. And after that, I placed the white cloth over the cage. Then, all four of us placed the wooden statue of the dog god atop the cage. Afterwards, we stood in the four corners of the room. Kokichi and Shuichi blew out the candles.
Yes.
Finally, we all sang the caged child song. The seance should have been complete, but... now that you mention it, I remember hearing a strange sound during the song. A sound. Thunk. It's a mystery to me as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps. That was a pretty loud sound for someone tripping. Perhaps Kyo knows something.
What do you mean?
And then what happened?
Yes.
We called out to her, but no reply came. I had Shuichi and Kokichi relight the candles. And then we removed all the items from within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the dog god statue. Next, I took off the white cloth, and then... Himiko ran over to the cage, and the moment she lifted it... It sounds like Tenko was definitely killed during the seance.
No.
But would it not be difficult in such darkness? Besides, she was inside the cage, yes? Then when was she killed?
Well, that's...
Yes, that is a problem.
I see, yes.
There is another problem.
How?
And that is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone moved in their corner. Did someone else sneak in here?
What's the point?
Obviously, this seance was clearly a sham. Maki was never one to pull her punches. Sound during seance added.
Leave it to me.
I'll become the guiding light that shines on you all.
Why?
First Angie, then
How
Tenko.
can this be?
Gonta show is shamed. Why Gonta no could protect friends?
Hey!
Himiko! Hey, Himiko! Be strong, Himiko!
Wait!
Gonta, if you shake Himiko that much, she's going to break.
What?
But she not talking. It's like Himiko not even here.
Like I thought.
She must have been really shocked over Tenko. Let's leave her be for now. Okay. Himiko. Alright, let's look at the items now. It's the white sheet we used for the seance. This was placed on top of the cage. Kyo was the one who removed it.
Is this...
This cloth is pretty thick. It's similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque. And on the back... Look, there's a bloodstain on it, right around the middle of the sheet. But no hole in the fabric. Which means Tenko wasn't stabbed through the cloth.
Okay.
She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. I feel like I could have figured that much out, but now we have a truth bullet for it. It's the wooden dog statue used in the seance. I believe it's called the Dog God. During the seance, this wooden statue was on top of the cage. It took 4 of us to remove it. This one statue is pretty heavy.
If I remember correctly...
Q said it was about 175 pounds. That's about the weight of 2 girls.
What?
What do you know about girls? Have you even touched a woman besides your mother? What?
I'm kidding.
Anyway.
Is this...
if this heavy thing was on top of the cage, then Tenko wouldn't have been able to get out easily.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right about that. That didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. Dog statue added. Lights, maybe? Candles hung on the walls. They're the only source of light in the room. There are no windows in this room, so without the candles it was pitch black. But how'd the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? Kibo could have done it, but eh. I honestly can't see Kibo killing somebody. It's the magic circle Kyo drew on the floor. Well, at least it was.
Oh dear.
It's been completely stomped over. I guess it was unavoidable.
Well,
Was this drawn with salt?
Yes.
Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt.
what?
Are you feeling alright? You sound ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I have performed many successful seances. Why, I even had spirits enter my body.
I'm right already.
Shut up. I don't want to hear about your stupid delusions. Maki really doesn't beat around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually.
But
In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the magic original circle.
So what?
We'll find out in Kyo's lab. It should be written in the Cage Dog Village document.
Hey,
Isn't that right, Kyo? He seems depressed. I suppose that makes sense. Magic Circle Kori Kyo drew added. This is the cage used in the seance.
is this...
There's blood on the top of the cage. Looks to be around 3 feet high and 5 feet wide. It's a pretty large iron cage,
okay.
big enough for a person to fit inside. During the seance, Kokichi and I covered Tenko with the cage. We were supposed to remove it as well. But it was Himiko who rushed in and removed the cage first.
Hey,
Hey, look at this.
is this...
A blood stain on the bottom of the cage. Probably Tenko's blood, yeah?
That's true.
Yes, I imagine so. The splatter must have been made when she was killed,
What do you mean?
which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the cage.
Okay.
I think you're right. Tenko went under the cage before the seance. When the cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead.
Then...
She was stabbed right when the cage was lifted. That would explain this blood stain, right?
Huh?
Perhaps she wasn't killed during the seance, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. That is a possibility. No. Probably not. Iron cage has been added to the truth blow section of the monopad. Marker stone. There's a lock next to Tenko's body. This must be... Please rest your forehead upon this stone marker I placed here. It's just a stone I brought from the courtyard. Are you sure it'll work? Certainly. It is merely needed as a mark for her forehead to rest upon. Like this? Tenko had her forehead on this rock, hunched over. She had to make herself small to fit inside the cage. Marker stone added. Let's look at the floorboard. Check out the body last. This floorboard's loose. And it's the one right under Tenko.
Why?
Why is this floorboard loose?
If I remember correctly...
It wasn't like this before. It must have come loose during the seance.
Why?
Why would it come loose during the seance?
But...
A floorboard this thick and heavy wouldn't have come loose easily. Then someone must have loosened it on purpose. Loose floorboard added. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. According to the Monokuma file, her only injury is a stab wound to her neck. This wound is fatal. This must have caused instant death. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. Wait. Understood. I'll not say a word until the seance is over. Would Tenko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain?
Nope.
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
Huh?
What do you mean?
What's the point?
You're concerned about that, right?
Okay.
With a wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. You're speaking from experience?
That's obvious.
Of course. Quick deaths are my specialty. Well then, that makes sense.
By the way,
The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. Right. I don't see an obvious murder weapon. That could be a clue. Tenko's last moments added. Tenko's dead body. Yeah. According to the Monokuma file, her only injury is a stab wound to her neck. This wound was fatal. I guess she might have not have died instantly. I'm positive she wouldn't have had long, but perhaps a few seconds to move around. Thank you for being here, Maki. You're a huge help. The biggest unanswered question is the murder weapon. Where that weapon went will be the key to solving this case. Is there anything else? Hole in the corner? Whoops. Well, it looks like I can look at it here. Hole. There's a small opening in the corner of the room. It doesn't look big enough for a person to get through, but still.
Is this...
A hole? Looks like there's a space under here, too. Oh, hold on. I can see something below. It looks like something dropped down there.
Huh?
What? Something dropped down there? Was something dropped from here? Hole in the corner added.
Hey,
After we check everywhere else, why don't we go under the floor and see for ourselves?
You're right.
Right, let's do it.
by the way,
It seems pretty dark down there. What could we use for a light?
That's true.
Let's bring a candle. With Gibo's light from up here, that should be fine.
okay.
And I'll go get a candle. Remove that floorboard so we can go down.
Okay.
Got it. I pulled off some of the floorboards near the hole and took the candle from Maki. Then we carefully made our way through the hole under the floor. This is a lot more spacious than I thought. You can move pretty easily on all fours.
Okay.
Let's look around for clues.
Well,
It'd look pretty stupid if you found no clues after crawling around in this dusty place.
Okay.
Yeah. Found the weapon. It's right there. That's a clue. Some of the wood is corroded and is broken off. You can see into the next room.
hey,
This is the wall of the empty room, right? Looks like there's wood along the wall. This part is rotted away. Looks like natural rot. This hole wasn't made intentionally. But I can get into the next room through here.
that's true.
If I remember correctly, the room next door is also empty, right? Then the culprit could have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of using the hallway.
No.
True, but it would have been difficult moving around under the floor. We did alright because we had a light. Without it, it'd be pitch black. That might make it possible to move around in there.
Nope.
And they could have used a light like we're doing right now.
Well,
True. They used a light to move around under the floor. Is that possible? Cut crosspiece? Look, part of the crosspiece that supports the floorboard's cut off.
That's true.
It's near the loose floorboard, and the portion missing is about the same width too. And from what I can see of it,
that's true.
this wasn't broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. There should be saws in the warehouse, so they could have used that. The question is why? Another crosspiece is supporting the floorboard, so it might not fall if this portion is missing.
Then,
So what purpose did this serve? The floorboard underneath Tenko's body is loose, and the crosspiece supporting it has been cut. If the culprit did all this, then why? Dried blood. There's a bloodstain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. But that's pretty far from where Tenko's blood is dripping down. It's under the same floorboard, just at different ends. Why is there blood here?
hey,
Hey, the back of this floorboard has blood on it too.
Ah,
You're right. There's a little bit of blood on the other side of this floorboard.
what do you mean?
Did Tenko's blood splatter here when she got killed?
that's true.
I wonder. I can't really be sure yet.
Okay.
These bloodstains here are completely dry. There must be some reason these particular stains are dry. That probably has something to do with Angie's death. Yeah, dried bloodstain, loose floorboard updated. Wet bloodstain. Blood dripping from the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood. This is definitely Tenko's. There's a sickle here. And there's blood all over it.
Okay.
The blood on the sickle is fresh. This is the murder weapon.
Is this...
This came from my research lab.
Huh?
It did?
well...
A sickle can be used to assassinate a target. It can be thrown without losing any lethality, and you can hide it under your clothes, too.
Well,
If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance. The blade's about 6 inches.
That's right.
Since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't have been able to defend herself.
but
But even if this is our murder weapon, how'd the culprit attack Tenko in the cage? The blade could fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it reach her neck?
That's true.
The cage is 3 feet high. If you were to stab it with a 6-inch blade, well, it will depend on Tenko's posture, but I don't think it's impossible. Then her posture is the question.
Hey,
Hey, if the weapon is down here, the culprit must have thrown it away, right?
that's true.
Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw the sickle under the floor in the dark. Or they could have been under the floor the entire time. Either is possible. Sickle under the floor added. I think we finished investigating here.
Is that all right?
Maki, do you want to head back up? Glad you asked. I'm starting to get fed up with all this dust. After Maki and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboards back and returned to our investigation. I think we're pretty much done, though.
by the way,
We've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise?
Huh?
What do you mean?
because...
Angie and Tenko have different killers. Then the Blacken we need to vote for is
You're right.
the culprit for the first murder, the culprit who killed Angie. That's what Monokuma said.
Then...
So instead of investigating Tenko's death, shouldn't we be investigating Angie's?
Okay.
Yes, of course.
But
But this is bigger than the killing game, for the sake of the two who died. I need to reveal the truth of both their deaths. Well, I understand why you feel that way. But if you plan on investigating the other crime scene again, we should probably hurry. I guess we should go then. When I came to the hallway, a scene more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded. Oh, a 3-for-1?
It's a lie!
Of course. Not a 3-for-1. That was a good fake out. I gotta give him that. Did I surprise you? We're gonna scream and cry in terror.
huh?
What are you doing?
Oh?
Oh, sorry. I'm just a little lightheaded from the blood loss. Yeah, this is real blood.
Why?
Okay, so what are you doing? I got curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. And suddenly, I stepped through the floorboard.
Huh?
You stepped through a floorboard?
So mean.
Jeez, that got me good. Because of this, I tripped and fell pretty hard.
Got a minute?
You're going to lose consciousness. Do it after you tell us everything. Oh, sorry. My bad. I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kinda stepped through. What bad luck. The crosspiece was gone? Does that mean...
Huh?
Right on cue, huh?
Confidence! Dreams! That's what the killing game is all about! Killing game fans! Hold your head high and watch with your own 2 eyes! Baseball, soccer, mobile games!
Especially not
They're
mobile
all
games.
Nothing compared to the killing game! The killing game just can't be beat! Behold, students! The entrance to the trial grounds!
Oh boy. I guess time's up. Oh man, it's because of you guys. I didn't have enough time to check something.
Huh?
What are you trying to check?
See?
I wanted to re-research the seance again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately, I couldn't find anything new that could be used as a clue. Kyo perfectly reenacted the seance as to what was written in the document. He drew his magic circle the same exact way as in this picture. Not only that, he used the same exact tools, too. Nothing suspicious about this whole thing. Well, I wanted to check on the finer details, but I'll tell you about that later. At the class trial, so See you there. Kokichi left, the blood loss clearly affecting his footing a bit. Bloody Kokichi added. Let's go too.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Is Maki nervous? I see, so even she gets nervous sometimes.
Do you want to die?
What are you staring at? Is everyone already there? I'm gonna guess so. There's no reason to take our time, so... Shrine of Judgment.
Oh dear.
It would appear we have gathered, but it seems there are less and less of us.
Oh.
Less friends mean it that much harder to solve mystery.
Don't worry.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure you've gotten a little smarter by now, Gonta. Yeah, Gonta do his best to help. I'd want you to graduate from super idiot level to at least Kaito idiot level.
What?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Are you okay?
More importantly, are you okay, Kaito?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm feeling better now. But wow, Maki Roll sure does pack a punch.
I don't know.
It's your fault. You need to worry about our dwindling numbers. Only dipshits have died so far.
That being said,
I know it's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
hoo-yah!
These golden brain cells of mine are a gift to the entire world.
Unacceptable.
It's as though every time you open your mouth you become less likable.
Rest in peace.
Atua, please lend us your power.
But
It may be difficult for us to rely on Atua, considering what happened to Angie, who loved Atua most of all.
Well, you know.
She shouldn't have relied on Atua in the first place. But seriously, it's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God, especially Atua.
I also...
So what? Robots can believe in God.
Indeed.
Actually, before I met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean. You might call it an inner voice. It tells me what to do whenever I'm in trouble.
Got a minute?
How long are you going to say that for? Atua and ghosts don't matter right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, the trial this time is going to be rough. We got caught in Monokuma's trap.
Huh?
This trap?
That's right.
He probably made the fourth floor so scary on purpose to prevent me from investigating.
Oh, right already.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Hey, so...
Shuichi, say something.
Huh?
What should I say?
Okay.
Atua and ghosts don't matter right now. The culprit is among us. Roll credits. Wrong game. So in the end, the culprit really was... No, it's nothing. We can talk about it once the trial starts. So who is the culprit? Going to do his best to help.
Please wait.
It's true, though I do not know if it can be attributed to God per se. I can hear an inner voice guiding me when I don't know what to do. I can't explain why, but I believe that voice will help me, will lead me to hope as long as I listen to it. Hope, you say? Shut up. Why the fuck is a robot talking about God anyway? It's unseemly.
You're so dumb.
That inner voice is probably just a radio or something, like in taxis and stuff.
That is not funny.
It was unwise of me to confide in you all.
Listen up!
Try using your brain so I don't have... Yeah, sure, whatever you say.
Damn.
This trial's gonna be rough, since I couldn't do any investigating. You barely helped at all anyways. I respected Angie and Tanko so much that's the moment we met.
Shut up!
Shut up, nothing's gonna be solved by crying about it.
Oh, right already.
Besides, that was a lie, wasn't it?
It's a lie.
Yep, you guys have figured me out already, so there's no point in keeping me off the act. Kokichi never changes, no matter what situation we're in. Or he's in. Well, same thing. Why did the seance fail? I never did figure out why. I see, he's still more interested in that than the case. Well, the killer would most likely be the sixth person, in this case, in the room. as usual, walk towards the elevator in silence. As soon as the remaining survivors step aboard, down we go. We descended. Perhaps because there were fewer of us, the elevator seemed to move faster. And so we fell, faster and faster, downward into the black. The elevator stopped, and just like always, the doors parted slowly. The light that shines on us from the other side, the bright light of our future? Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Boy, they look really depressed. Must be because there's even less participants now. Don't say they look depressed, it'll make both of them sad. As much as I'd love to keep hearing this adorable back and forth, let's hurry up and get this started! At last, a class trial will begin! I hope you'll enjoy it to your heart's content. The third class trial was about to begin. Angie Yonaga, the ultimate artist. She created the Ultimate Academy Student Council to try to prevent the killing game. Then, Tenko Chabashira, the Ultimate Aikido Master. She hated men, but I knew she hated this terrible killing game even more. The two who were killed were both trying to stop the killing. And who was the one who killed them? Was it one person? Two different people? We need to pin that down in this class trial. In order to live, we have to find the truth. And I will fight for it. I'll fight for the with truth and lies in this class trial. And unfortunately, this is probably going to be where we have to call it for today. Because, these class trials are long. And unfortunately, I don't have a ton of time. So, yeah, I'll probably pick this up tomorrow evening. So, yeah, give me about 24 hours. I should be able to get back to it, hopefully. But, yeah, until then, have a good night. Until next time.